I heard a case this morning that was usually one of my favorite kinds, a before your vows, but it didn't turn out to be that way. Instead of discussing love, we ended up talking about safety.
Divorce court is now in session.
I'm here today with Donnie Ray Pierre and Tommie T.J. Buckner. The two of you have been living together for 5 years, and you cannot decide whether or not you should make it official. So you've come here for my advice. I've given you my compatibility test. I've also got your license here, which you have given me permission to tear up should I think that your union is ill-advised. So let's get right to it. Ms. Pierre, I'm going to speak with you. What do you love about him, and why are you still uncertain after 5 years of living together?
I can't really explain why I love him. I just love him. Words can't describe it. What was your other question?
Why you love him? I can see that because it almost brought you to tears right out the gate. But why are you uncertain as to whether or not you two should marry?
Because he has a lot of jealousy and anger.
Are you scared? Or are you hurt? Or are you afraid?
I'm hurt. I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
That he might start drinking again. That his anger might get out of control again.
Mr. Buckner, do you understand what she's talking about when she says she is afraid of you because you are angry?
I absolutely do.
Okay. Why don't you tell me what level of anger you display?
Usually, more often than not, I'm a very calm person. Up to about a year ago this month, I started drinking pretty heavy. I had a pretty bad drinking problem.
Did something happen a year ago this month that caused you to increase your alcohol intake?
Well, over the year prior to the events of last August, which were pretty dramatic, we've had a lot of issues. We'd had some issues. Just, you know, I'm not the most trusting person in the world.
What were the events of last August?
Last August, August 30th, I got drunk and we got into a fight, and I started throwing things and breaking things, and actually hurt myself in the process. And she called 911 for an ambulance to come out, and instead the sheriff's department did, and I was arrested.
Did you put your hands on her?
I grabbed her by the shoulders and shoved her onto the couch. This is by no means a defense of what I did, but I did not strike her, did not hit her. Even in that condition, I can never do that. And
don't say what you can never do. Don't say what you can never do. If you have the capacity to grab her and throw her on a couch in a drunken rage, you have the capacity to do worse, because it creeps up on you. You know what I mean? Most guys don't start out swinging. They start out pushing. I know.
And this is why I don't drink anymore. This is why I quit drinking.
When did you quit drinking?
Well, the night I was arrested. I haven't
That was the last time?
That was August 30th, last time I've drank.
Ms. Pierre, is he accurate about that? Was that the last time he drank?
Yes.
Absent alcohol, are you afraid of him?
A little bit.
What has he done when he's not intoxicated that makes you so afraid?
He still kind of slams his hand on things sometimes, just gets really angry and starts yelling.
I understand that there is some concerns that he has with respect to you. He's very, very jealous. You work as a bartender, correct?
Correct.
And he doesn't like the manner in which you engage with the clientele. What has he told you about that?
He said that it's not that he doesn't trust me, he just doesn't trust the guys. I have more guy friends than girlfriends a lot, but I've never in the past given him a reason to not trust me. And that night, he got drunk like that. It was over some guy that me and a girlfriend was gonna go to New Orleans with to visit and see if that's where we wanted to move to from Shreveport, and he just think that guy was out to get us and got really angry that night. So he just doesn't trust anybody, period.
Mr. Buckner, has Ms. Pierre ever given you any reason to distrust her?
She has never, to my knowledge, and I believe it, has never cheated on me. You know, it's not so much that I don't trust her, it's just everything that happens. And she, you know, she works at a bar, she bartends. She's an outgoing, friendly person.
Is there something peculiar or particular about her that leaves her vulnerable to the masses of men that might see her?
Well, yeah, I mean, she trusts every one of them. She says nothing, you know, they don't want her, they're just being friendly. You know, she
When you
hugs,
say trust, how does she display that trust?
She tends to hug a number of regulars at the bar. You know, most bartenders are, you get your drink, thank you, it's this much, thank you very much, I'm going to the next person. I don't come around the bar and give you a hug. I don't give you my phone number or get your phone number because, and.
Do you exchange phone numbers with men at the bar?
I've done that occasional, but it's not just men, it's women too, and it's for promotional reasons.
What are you promoting?
Like when something big is going on at the bar, I can send out a mass text or email and get everybody to come to the bar.
Come to the bar. Do you believe that?
I believe that, but too many of these men, these drunk guys at the bar and these
Do they
dive
call
bars
you
and
for
shit,
other reasons?
she gets texts and phone calls. You know, she gets texts asking if
Now,
she
come
wants
on now. You are a good-looking woman. You gonna tell me that you've gotten a phone number, exchanged phone numbers, and one guy hasn't ever called you and said, "Hey, baby, let's go out"?
And then I put it to an end.
So that does happen.
It's happened a couple
Yeah.
of times.
There's other ways to do promotions. You don't have to do it from your private phone. You with me? I'm just trying to help you out here a little bit. You get that? You know what concerns me? Is that you're crying, and I can't figure out why. Divorce isn't easy. If you need help with your breakup, call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. In addition to his anger and his jealousy, you also say he doesn't help around the house. He's not really supportive in that manner. Why don't you tell me what your concerns are there?
He does a lot of stuff to help out. It's just like if I ask him to change the oil in the car, he'll go like weeks without doing it. Or like pick up the pan that he emptied the oil out in. Hang a curtain, I have to ask him more than once.
What do you love about him?
He's a brilliant writer, he's charming. He's very forgiving, sometimes.
Very forgiving sometimes. Now that's a loaded phrase if I've ever heard one. You know what concerns me? Is that you're crying, and I can't figure out why. Do you feel comfortable in your own home?
Sometimes. Sometimes I just wish that he would give me time to heal, like I needed that time to heal whenever he did all that. When he went to jail, and he didn't give me enough time to heal, and so it escalated and things happened.
What do you mean it escalated and things happened?
Like when he wouldn't give me the time to heal, it just kind of like brought me into somebody else's arms.
So, Mr. Buckner, do you know what she's talking about? I'm gonna give her a moment to compose herself.
I certainly do.
Could you explain to me what she's referring to?
I gave her apparently just enough space for somebody else to fill in the gap.
So after you went to jail,
got 30
you came
days,
back
got
30
out,
days.
Got out. Half a month later, we moved from Shreveport to New Orleans. Started looking for work. We both started working. I was driving a truck. She was working at a bar. We were renting a room from someone down there, looking for a place of our own, and it got to the point where she wouldn't answer my texts, my calls, wouldn't tell me where she was, what she was doing, and Eventually, I checked her phone, being the jealous person that I am. There were texts from this guy about her coming over and cuddling with him, and
How did you respond to that?
I threw a fit. I threw a fit, and I left and parked under a bridge for a while to calm down, and we talked back and forth by text, and eventually I came back and I forgave her. And
Okay, let me ask you this. What do you love about her? And why are you a positive influence in her life? What about her being with you makes her feel, do, act, or a better person?
The strange thing is, I love about her everything that I hate about her. She's beautiful, she's friendly, she's outgoing, she's a very type A, get things done, get up in the morning, let's move personality, and I'm just the opposite. But I feel like we're two halves of the same soul that have found one another. Two sides of the same coin, and there's
Two halves of the same soul. You believe she's your soulmate?
absolutely. I've said that for 5 years now.
But the woman that I see before me here today is paper thin and a wheat taste shattered. I don't think you see it.
I do.
And how do you think she got that way? If you would like your case to be heard on divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Divorce Court. On a personal note, I don't believe in that soulmate business, because I've come in here and every other couple that comes in here said we were soulmates, we were soulmates, we were soulmates. To be a soulmate, to be meant for one another, means that you don't frighten the person that you were meant to be with. It means that when she opens her mouth, she does not quiver or cry when she discusses her union with you. You may feel great love and affection, and she may bring you joy and happiness, but you have brought her fear and discontent and disruption. And I don't think you know you've done it. I don't know whether or not you care that you've done it. But the woman that I see before me here today is paper thin and a wheat taste shattered. I don't think you see it.
I do.
And how do you think she got that way?
She has been that way since before we met, and I know that.
And how do you believe you, as her soulmate, has taken a paper-thin woman who was frightened and fragile and made her stronger and more whole and more healthy?
I have made her stronger,
Okay.
and you can ask her if I have. She's become a better performer. I mean, she's an actress. She's become better at that. She's become. I think she's a stronger person than she was 5 years ago.
Do you believe that you're stronger since you've been with him?
I think everything that's happened in this relationship has made me stronger. I think he had a little bit to do with that.
But you think you're stronger because you survived what he did to you, not because he supported you in your personal growth. I mean, that's what you just said to me, because you survived what he did to you. Is that the strength that you think you've gotten out of this relationship?
Yes, and I think we have a lot and we need to work on.
Do you want to marry him?
I don't know.
Do you want to marry her?
I do.
I think we just need a lot of work.
What do you think you need to work on in order for this marriage to work?
Like I said, having quit drinking has been a big benefit. It's helped. I still have to take an anger management course, which I need to do. I think we probably need some counseling, because my jealousy issues you know, with what she's trying to accomplish with her life, the men coming onto her is not going to stop. I understand what she's trying to do. I understand that she's not looking for someone else. You know, she's just being friendly. She's just being outgoing. She's just trying to promote business. I know that. I just think she's going about it the wrong way, and I think there are things she needs to do in that respect to help this as well.
Okay. All right. In divorce court, couples tell me everything about their relationships. Want to share your experience? Join the conversation on our Twitter page at Divorce Court. On Facebook, check out other fans and their intimate issues. You know everybody has something to say about love. What's on your mind? It was interesting when I asked you to tell me what things you believe you needed to work on as a couple. You listed all the things that you need to work on yourself, and you listed one thing that you thought she needed to work on, which really dealt with your insecurity and jealousy. I think what you need to do, Mr. Buckner, is the best thing that you could ever do for her is walk away from her and become a better man before you can come back to her. You are not. She's afraid of you in some respect, and one should never say to me, when I asked you, are you afraid in your own home, and you say sometimes, that to me is a red flag, alarm bells, it's a fire. A person should never feel unsafe in their own home from the person with whom they share it. The fact that whatever issues you have, and it's just a fear thing, it's a fear and insecurity thing, and if you're not a stronger person, if you're not secure, you will never, ever allow her to feel safe. She can't change the way she looks. That is who she is. And if you can't accept her for that way and not become angry, do you understand what it is like to live in a house where you do not feel safe?
I've been there.
How
yes.
horrifying that is?
Yes, I do.
I cannot, in good conscience, even ask you to stay with him. I think you're in a potentially abusive situation. And when you're in a potentially abusive situation, you need specific help in your situation about how to move forward. You need to get into contact with some domestic violence associations in your area so you understand what potential abuse looks like. I don't know what's going on at your house, but I got an idea. And to see how it escalates and see how it cycles and make a decision about what you need to do for your own sense of self. I don't think anybody should ever marry anybody who doesn't make them feel completely, wholly, 100%. You can hang me off of a bridge by my ankles and I'll never fear a thing because you're my man and you make me safe. I can't endorse it, I can't get next to it, and I want you, Mr. Buckner, and I ain't mad, but I'm afraid for her. And I want you to be afraid for her too, because she has a right to feel safe in her own home. And how can you feel good about who you are if you're not making the soulmate you contend she is feel safe where she lives?
I don't feel good about who I was, but I'm not that person anymore.
She's still afraid, and that should never be. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do.
If you were my daughter, I'd come pick you up, take you home with me. That's what I would do. But I want you to learn what it is to be in an abusive cycle. I want you to learn what the abuse hotlines are near you. I want you to talk to the counselor that I have, and then I want you to make some calm, rational decisions about what you need to do. And what I'm asking you from you, Mr. Buckner, is to relax into it. Do you know what I'm saying? You with me? Mm-hmm. Can't sanction it. Good luck to both of you, and please take advantage of the assistance we're about to give you. This matter is adjourned. The one and most important lesson you need to learn from this case is that you should always feel safe in your own home. And if you don't, you should get help. If you don't know where to start, go to divorcecourt.com, where we have resources. Find out how to deal with it and do so safely.